Maple syrup here in Maine really has a long history, and there's a lot of culture around this industry in particular. For folks who are really interested in participating or visiting sugar houses and seeing how things are done, there's a lot of opportunity in that we have such a long season throughout the state.
I think it's a real Maine institution because certainly Maine is tied to forest products. Maine syrup is sought after because of the flavor of Maine syrup. A good syrup buyer from across the country will come and they can taste Maine syrup and taste the difference between Maine and other state syrups.
Maine is the third largest maple producer in the U.S. And in the state, we produce a total of $55.6 million in economic contribution to the state. And that's through direct sales of syrup, but also bringing in tourists to events like Maine Maple Sunday and the Fall Maple Fest.
Maine Maple Fall Fest is it's a great way to get out. It's fall weather, it's not as cold as the spring. The leaf colors this weekend are amazing, and it's a way to enjoy maple syrup. Now we can get a little bit more detailed, answer more questions, and still explain our entire process. We're not making syrup in the fall, but we can still show you everything we do and the effort that it takes to make a gallon of Maine maple syrup.
We're from Switzerland.
Luckily we're here and can taste some real Maine maple syrup, and it's very delicious. We really love it. So we hope we really love it. And we take a lot of them home for all of our friends and families.
We made the decision about a year ago that we wanted to come to Maine because it's just so different than what we experience in Alabama in the fall. I am looking forward to the whiskey barrel aged maple syrup. It is not something I have ever tried before.
Certainly as a sweetener and as a sugar, maple syrup and maple sugar has a lot of good things going for it, antioxidants and so forth in it. So it can be used much more that way rather than white sugar.
Maine maple syrup is a one ingredient product. We have sap that's extracted from the tree. Most of the time on the same day, goes from the tree into an evaporator and it gets boiled down. That's Maine maple syrup.
I'm Roger Jervey, General Manager of the Sugar House at Gilson Farm and Sugar House. On Gilson Farm, we have about 90 taps on the farm itself. Everything else is remote, and all of it has to be hauled into the Sugar House. This is the evaporator. It's a wood-fired evaporator. The arch is 120 years old or so, and the pans are 1980s. Every 6 minutes, you got to put a layer of wood in there. And if you do your job, the fireman, this can boil 110 gallons of water off an hour. And if you're feeding that fire properly, we can make 10 gallons an hour of syrup out of the evaporator.
Maine Maple Sunday is something that the Maine Maple Producers Association established 40 years ago. Our predecessors had the foresight of setting aside a day near the end of the month in March that people could plan on to go out and visit sugar houses, and it's certainly proven to be a huge success.
It's really nice here.
It's really fun.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They love me. I love it.
We have all that maple.
I had a great time just listening to the process, and some of the history I think is pretty neat. And they have a wonderful array of things to buy and things to consume, and it's nice just to see the people out here coming out on a nice Sunday having a good time, and you see everything. It's wonderful.
The production process is demonstrated at most all sugar houses. It's not uncommon to see blacksmiths, horse or oxen cart rides. It's a time of year when there's not a lot of other items going on for people to do, and people are ready to get out in the spring and do something after a long winter.
So buying local syrup means that you're not only giving your 12 or 20 to the producer, that money is then going back into the local hardware store, the local gas station, and it's being used for marketing to bring people from out of state in to visit on Maine Maple Sunday and on the Fall Maple Fest. So there's a lot of additional benefits beyond just that good quality, super high quality product that goes on your breakfast table or into your recipes. It really has much broader impacts to support local Maine producers.